Hold on here. You probably can hear me now. All right. Let me see. Probably I had to do something with the earbuds, earphones. Yeah. I was just talking about. I would just put this article in the description box uh, about the public interest. Interest. I think the article was called something about republicanism and about this country being a republic and all that. Um, what I really want to say is that there's no such thing as a public interest because whenever you speak of any public interest, marginalized voices such as ourselves and other so-called people of color um, are gonna be marginalized. You know what I'm saying? Are going to be diluted from the framework of the so-called public interest. Public interest, what I really think of it is only white people's interest. There's no such thing as a public interest for all people. You're just not going to please all people at one time, just like you can't please all nationalities at one time. This is why, what's going on, KD? This is why we must have our own nation because we only know what's good for us. We don't need any Caucasoid, any Hispanic, any Asian to tell us what's good for us. You know what I'm saying? We don't need any Arab to tell us what's good for us. You know what I mean? Only people who should be telling us what's good for us is us. And this is why we need to have our own shit. You know what I'm saying? So that way we don't need to be relying on others because others cannot be trusted. You know what I'm saying? Just like white people don't trust others who are non-white. You know what I'm saying? It's the same. And if that's being racist, then that's their opinion. That's their problem that they're gonna have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? That's not for me to change or fix. You know what I'm saying? So I would just let y'all know there's no such thing. Exactly. Exactly. Which is why some areas of this country we can actually make for ourselves, even if it's only several blocks. The way Black Wall Street back in the days, you know what I'm saying? Way back in the days before any of us were even thought of, much less even created inside our mother's wombs. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I also have an article on Medium as well, which is in the description box, which I can read for yourselves as well. It's just the beginning of what I'm going to be putting together. Well, I wouldn't say at a regular basis, but maybe like every other day or something like that. Whatever time I have, that would which I could put in to get that article together, blog piece together. It was something that I written sometime back, so it's a little old, but relevant. You know what I'm saying? So what we're going through now. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Queen Chanlo? Good to see you up in here, Queen. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, what's that's mainly pretty much what I want to speak about. You know what I'm saying? Uh Man, I just came out of I was just watching brother Aaron Collins video as well, the real Aaron Collins, and yeah, and I was just seeing he did a video at his family reunion. So he was saying thank you for all the people who have donated, so he could get to his family reunion in Chicago. What's going on, King Randy? What's good, fam? Hey, King Randy, I'm sure you have heard or saw something about the wildfires in Chicago's, not in Chicago, in California, man, out in Redding, California. So yeah, yeah. I have a feeling. I have a feeling somebody's setting up those wildfires. I think they caught somebody who was setting those wildfires up, though. If you could find anything more about it, you could let me know, Randy, King Randy. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. I've been keeping up on the apocalyptic stuff that's been going on. What's up? What's going on, brother Denubian? Peace to you, brother. Good to see you up in here, man. I was just talking to family about the public interest and how there's no such thing as a public interest, fam. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if there is a public interest, it's only for white people. You know what I'm saying? Or because white people make up the rules. White people make up the rules that determine things in their favor and not for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's no such. I mean, way I see it now in this country, there's no such thing as a mountain pot. You either pro-black or you're anti-black. You know what I'm saying? You either pro-white or you're anti-white. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things. That's one of the things I want to get out on this video to let the family know. You know what I'm saying? That we don't have any friends. The only allies we have is each other. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So in effect, there's no such thing as a public interest. But that article on the bottom is really trying to convince us that there's such a thing as a public interest. You know, how we used to be that public interest. But the thing was, back in 1776 throughout the 1800s, you know what I'm saying, the public interest was mainly white men. You know what I'm saying? Because white men were the only ones who had the right to vote. White men were the only ones who were able to own property. Black people, we were not more than human cargo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. I feel you, KD. We probably might have to do that at this point. You know what I'm saying? Especially if these Caucasoid judges don't let us have our way, and the way things are happening, we probably won't even have our way. Even if we present ourselves as being indigenous to this land, they still not gonna give anything to us. You know what I'm saying? What they gonna give us a little Indian reservation? You know what I'm saying? In which everybody's on drugs, on alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Dying of heart disease, dying of liver disease, in which they still poisoning our food, poisoning our water. Yeah, I guess we might as well give it to these Caucasoids, man. We could ship our asses right back to Africa, man. At this point, you know what I mean? Yeah, definitely get a shipping company built. If we could get that being built, man, we could definitely all go back to Africa. Now, the last time that ever happened was brother actually it was before Mark, it was Marcus Garvey too. There was someone before Marcus Garvey who actually had a shipping company in which he shipped hundreds of black folks hundreds of our people back to Africa, and his name was Dudley. Hey, what's going on, August Dreams? Good to see you up in here. Right now, my phone ain't on, so I'm just using the Wi-Fi here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, whatever Wi-Fi I can find to get into, I'm gonna get into. You know what I mean? My job has free Wi-Fi. Actually, my job has the best Wi-Fi. Actually, I could go to any food line and get some real good Wi-Fi. So so I'm good on that when it comes to the Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I probably might do a video of my job one day. Me wearing my uniform. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yup. But nah, family, I would just mainly talk about, before some of y'all came in, about the public interest and how there's no such thing as a public interest. You know what I'm saying? And if there is such a thing as a public interest, there's only a public interest that is beneficial for Caucasoids and not us and not the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? diluting the rest of us. So all this stuff about a melting pot, we might as well scratch all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's either you're pro-black or you're anti-black. It's either you're pro-white or you're anti-white. You know what I'm saying? That's what it all boils down to. And you could say pro and anti to any nationality. You know what I'm saying? Because every nationality is looking out for their own interests, including the Arabs. You know what I'm saying? The giant Chinese, man, they're quietly becoming an economic power. You know, and as soon as Esau don't watch themselves, they're gonna be overran by the Chinese. You know what I'm saying? And that could be a problem for us as well. You know. Exactly, KD. The system is fake. You can even go into a courtroom and tell that the shit is fake. You can even walk through the halls of Congress and watch how they conduct business and see that the shit is fake. You know what I'm saying? All that I'm standing around, it's a bunch of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They're coming up with these laws. They got these laws in the books for years, talk about no loitering and no trespassing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Any law enforcement officer approach should be like, well, you can't stay in here. I'm like, why not? I thought this was my country too, but I guess not. Oh, okay. Yeah, you making me feel like a refugee. Okay, if that's how y'all play, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna be sad when me and my people gonna get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers gonna be crying. They're gonna be begging for our asses to come back. Using us as y'all slaves, man. Using us as corporate entities to perform the will of the slave, perform the will of the slave master. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? We're more than corporate entities. We're human beings. And the thing is, when are we going to get our human rights? If we can't get our human rights here, we might as well go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? You know, so yeah, that's what's up. Yep, exactly. Not only is it fake, but it's poisonous too. It's poisonous to the core. They doing this shit on purpose. They not only, and the thing is, not only they trying to get rid of us, they trying to get rid of their own too. You know what I'm saying? Because especially the weak ones, the weakest ones, the weakest links. Uh-huh. Yeah. But the problem is they ain't getting rid of a lot of us fast enough. We're still here. You know what I'm saying? Some of us may have our ailments and stuff, but we're still here though. Once we get into this natural cures thing, I don't care how many times these crackers try to poison us, you know, they not gonna win. We gonna still sit up here surviving. You know what I mean? The only reason why they got us here, it's because they need us for their pockets, to fatten their wallets, to fatten their profits. You know what I'm saying? The United States is nothing but a corporation run by corporate hacksters called the Congress. President, he ain't nothing but a damn figurehead. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna do shit. Since when the president of the United States ever done shit for this country? President Trump is not that any different. You know what I mean? Yup. Oh, this wiping them out quicker than we know it. But what happens if all of them was to start dying out of this country here first? You know what I'm saying? In a way, it wouldn't be any justification for us to leave here because of the fact that a lot of these Caucasoids are dying at such a high rate. You know, especially in this country. In Europe, they not doing any much better. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shoot. Look at their population. Look at their white population. That's quickly declining. Exactly, August Dreams. Yep. Black label, white wealth. That's the only reason why that's the only reason why they haven't deported us. Shoot, they could have deported us back in 1863, 1865. but Congress said no, we don't have enough money to be sending a whole bunch of Negroes back to Africa. We can't afford it. So that's the only reason why we're stuck here. You know what I'm saying? Had it not been for the Congress at that time, all of our asses would have been Africa. You know what I'm saying? All of us would have been back in Africa. Imagine if all of us were back in Africa and there was nothing but Caucasoids here. This country would be fucked up right now. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why this country is the way it is because of our labor. It's because of our ancestors' labor. It's because of us. That's the only reason why this country is even functioning. The minute we don't function and tell the system to fuck off, the minute we all start doing that, you know what I'm saying? That's the only way these Caucasoids gonna realize, you know what? It was a bad idea to keep these niggas here in this country. Damn. They're fucking up our profits now. We got to do something. Shit. They're out there blowing up our establishments. They're burning our whole towns down and shit. You know what I mean? What the hell is going on? We can't stop these niggas at this point. Shit. There's a lot more than them that we have counted. They ain't even 13% of the population anymore. There's a whole lot of them motherfuckers around. You know what I'm saying? I know, exactly. Right. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. That's true, August Drakes. Yeah. So, yeah, that was just, yeah. So, think about this being a public interest. You know what I'm saying? About being a public interest. It's non-existent. You know, it's not existent unless you're a Caucasoid. That's the only public interest that I know. That's the only public interest that I'm familiar with. It's no public interest for us. Unless we make it about us. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. True that, Randy. We could definitely make that happen. That is, we start burning all the establishments down. That is, if all of us was to quit these quit our jobs at these Caucasoid establishments. That would be some shit. Wow, that would be some real serious shit right there, man. Woo. You know, and speaking of the public interest, and speaking of that, man, I was thinking of that Plato's dialogue, The Republic, and he was talking about what a republic entails, how we should do this and how we should do that. You know what I'm saying? Really talk about how to build the nation. You know, there's never been a nation built that was successful based off of multiculturalism. You know what I'm saying? Because if there's a dominant culture, there's always going to be inferior cultures. And the dominant culture, they usually make all the rules. You know what I'm saying? They establish all their laws and codes to benefit them. And this is what America has become for over 200 years. for almost 200 to 300 years. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we're saying that there's a public interest or that we're all a melting pot like it's a great thing, it's completely bogus. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody in the melting pot is not benefiting. The only people who are benefiting in this so-called melting pot is these Caucasoids, the ones who establish all the laws and codes in the first place to benefit mainly them. It's not here to benefit us. You know what I'm saying? When it's justice, it's not just us. It's really just them. You know what I mean? We don't get justice. We don't get peace. All we get is scraps right off of the dominant culture's table. And sooner or later, we're gonna have to stop accepting scraps off the dominant culture's table and start creating our own table. So yeah, that's really all I want to say to y'all. No doubt, no doubt. And that who knows? That day might be coming soon. We think August dreams. Exactly, brother Denubian. Most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah, it's a beautiful day outside too. Looked like for a minute there, it looked like it was gonna rain, almost like overcast skies, but it's turning out all right. You know what I'm saying? It's, one part of the sky's like brightened back up again. What's going on, Dark Void? Good to see you up in here, brother. Yeah, real. Yup. So, yeah, like I was saying, there's no such thing as the public interest unless you're a Caucasoid. You know what I'm saying? You know, no matter how people try to explain it and try to make the system to benefit everyone, it's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen because if the system's gonna benefit everyone, then somebody's gonna have to give up something. And these Caucasoids ain't trying to give up a thing. You know what I'm saying? At least the majority of them are not don't want to give up a thing because if they have to give up something, that means that they bend the down to us. You know what I'm saying? And majority of them really don't want to bend down to us that easily. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll come and ask us as to how do we do this? How do we do that? For the answers. You know, I would think since this is their system, they should automatically know. But, but their white privilege prevents them from seeing a lot of things. You know what I mean? It's this white privilege, you know. It prevents them from seeing a whole lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Actually, we could build our own nation right here in the States, right here in this country. We got enough black people to really do it, actually. But it's only like 5% of us, no more than 5% of us who are not slaves. Who don't think like slaves. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay because sometimes you got to start with something small and you just have to grow from there bit by bit, you know. But it's a good discussion to have. What's going on, S. Wiseman? How you doing, Queen? Good to see you up in here. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody's got good points. You know what I'm saying about what we should do from here on out. You know what I mean? Because I personally, I feel like a refugee here. I don't feel like being here. I feel like a refugee here who was just dropped off, and you know, oh now, buddy. You know what I'm saying? That's what great Christians do. They drop you off at a place and say, "Hey, you're on your own now. Try to work it out yourself. You don't need us here." You know. I mean, that's pretty much how it is. Yeah. So before you walked in, that's Wiseman. I was talking about the public interest, and I was saying that there's no such thing as a public interest unless you're a Caucasoid. And there's an article when in the description box that was talking something about the public interest. It had to do something with republicanism, how this country is a republic and how the republic is supposed to benefit everyone. Well, but in reality, you know what I'm saying? No, the only people who have really benefited for the first, I would say, at least 100 plus years are Caucasoid men. You know what I'm saying? They're the only ones who have benefited from the founding, from the so-called founding of this country in 1776, all the ooh, man, I would say all the way to the early to mid 1900s, really. I mean, white men is pretty much they were the only ones who could own property. They were the only ones who could vote. They were the only ones who had the rights to pretty much everything. You know what I'm saying? And white women were seen as accessories to the Caucasoid men's wealth, and us blacks were nothing more than human. You know what I'm saying? Just waiting to be used and exploited to benefit these Caucasoids, and that's what has happened. The only reason why this country was built the way that it's built is because of our ancestors and our backs as well. You know what I'm saying? So when they say public interest, just remember that that it only benefits the Caucasoid. Just like when you hear the term America or United States of America, you only think of Caucasoids. You don't think of everybody else. Everybody is not American. You know what I'm saying? The people of America are the ones who make all the rules, laws, and codes to benefit them. Those are the only people who benefit. You know what I'm saying? So once we remember that, ain't really ain't really too much, it ain't really it's really elementary to see as the ooh, it's elementary to see that why this country is the way that it is. But anyway, oh yeah. Let me read your comments. Yeah, you right about that, KD. Census of Esau definitely not that strong. No question about it. they definitely not that strong. Yeah, even their own is dying. Too many of their own are dying. Too many of their own are dying, and it's not working out for them. That's very true. Somebody said prisoner of war. That's what we are. That is exactly what we are. It's probably August Dreams who said that. Peace to you, sister. True that. Yep. He, and the point that you made, August Dreams, about every time these Caucasoids open their mouth, they're lying. Even their own are seeing the lies that is put in front of them. Even their own. So actually, it was something that I saw on that I shared with another friend of mine on Facebook or what have you. Yeah, it was something about there was people criticizing Neil Caputo on Fox News. It was a funny thing too. It was pretty funny. I was like, wow. But Neil Cavuto is not a Trump backer like you think he is, though. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting how that is. He doesn't back Trump when it comes to him having secret meetings with Putin. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, people who follow his show, they were mad at him about that. Like, what you mean, you never Trumper? They were calling him all types of names and stuff. He acted like he wasn't even bothered by it. Oh, okay, August Dreams. Oh, Sister Wise. Okay, all right. Sister Wiseman, that's right. Yeah, she's right. We definitely are prisoners of war here. I mean, people may not feel like we're in a war, but we are. Say we're in a psychological war. We're in a metaphysical war. We're in a spiritual war. You know, we're in a war with this global system of white supremacy. You can look at it from more angles and tell that we are indeed at war, even though we may feel like we're in peace. But peace is an illusion. You know what I'm saying? Because we're still not free in this nation that we built, that our ancestors built. You know what I'm saying? So when you say the public interest, whose interests are you talking about? You ain't talking about my interests. You ain't talking about my people's interests, because our people have never been considered. For the first almost 200 years that this country was founded, we were nothing but human cargo. And then after that system collapsed, after they ended that system, we were nothing but convict leasers. And then after that, we have Jim Crow and segregation. And then after that, once there were more prisoners, more prisoners in the prison system, we have the prison industrial complex, the new Jim Crow. Yeah, a lot of our people were in jail for petty crimes, non-violent offenses, so on and so forth. So the slave labor now is really in the prison system. That's the ultimate slave labor. All of us who work at a Caucasoid establishment, we're indentured servants. You know what I'm saying? We're working to pay debts to a society that doesn't give a fuck about us. You know what I'm saying? Working for people who don't give a fuck about us. People who don't see us as human. You know what I mean? Yeah. I seen it, Dark Void. Actually, Sister Nicole did a video on that about the that video the Young Turks put together by Hassan Piker. Yeah, that was pretty despicable though. That was pretty despicable how he compared Nia Wilson's death, but saying that what that white guy, what that Caucasoid did to Nia Wilson to Aura Kelly, sexually molesting young girls. Yeah, that was pretty despicable though. Yeah, that is pretty despicable. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, right behind me. This is City Hall. Check that out. Yeah, I'm right here in downtown Newport News. Actually, as a matter of fact, that picture that I took in I think it was a sun gazing video. Actually, that was City Hall that I took a picture of with the moon on the side. Actually, was able to catch that moon. But actually, I was actually just wanted to take a. It's actually I was trying to do a video on that, but the Wi-Fi was acting up that night, so I couldn't get that cracking. Yeah. Man, this feels nice out here. I think it might have to do something with these tall buildings. I don't know if it could be a wind tunnel too, because I'm not that far from the water. The thing is, my phone ain't cut on right now. You know what I'm saying? Actually, the Wi-Fi seems like it's a lot better. Yeah. Hassan Piker is a trip, eh? That video what he did kind of like put the icing on the cake right there. I was like, oh wow. But he's real slick in how he does it though. Yeah, that's right. S. Wiseman. Newport News is near Hampton. Yep, they're pretty much right next to each other. Yeah, where I'm at is on Washington Avenue between 25th and 26th Streets. Yeah, this is pretty much where the courthouse and the Justice Building, which is what I'm standing in front of, as y'all may see. Yep, this is the Justice Building right here. No such thing as justice, but you see. And notice the seal. If I get a closer touch up on the seal, it says the Corporation of Newport News, which indicates that which indicates right there that Newport News is not a city, but a corporate entity of the United States government. Check that out. 1958. Yep. Corporation of Newport News. So yeah. So this country, this is an indication right here on how a country is based on corporate law and not constitutional law. And the only people who have constitutional rights, who have ultimate constitutional rights, are these corporations. You know what I'm saying? Such as the Corporation of Newport News, or any private corporation that runs a business that is that is under the thumb of the so-called United States government, in which they had to pay taxes and so on and so forth, which they pretty much have to file, in which all that money pretty much goes back to the British Crown. So the fact that we're supposed to be independent of Great Britain, that's not reality. You know what I'm saying? That's not reality. Not reality at all. Yup. Yup. So yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And back to I'm glad you brought that up, Darth Ford, about that Young Turds video about Nia Wilson. Compare Nia Wilson's killer to R. Kelly. That's just nah. That's just plain idiotic right there. But that's how these Caucasoids think. And Proston Pike pretty much exposed himself. But you know, the Young Turds have always been kind of coded in how they and how they and how they do their stories and so forth. They always been pretty slick. Oh yeah. Yeah, you gotta be we have to be very careful of those young turds. Like Sister Nicole said, I don't know why black people still subscribe to their channel. You know what I'm saying? But I just mainly go up there for the information. You know what I'm saying? That's the only. I don't even watch all of their videos like that. But when Sister Nicole dropped that video, and I had to go back and watch it, I was like, "Ooh, I see where Sister Nicole is going with this thing. I see what she's talking about now, man. Yeah, wow." But you know, I personally I like my races to be extreme though. There's one guy who's actually extreme. I think his name is Glenn Lewis. A friend of mine, she actually sent me an article that was talking about him from MSN.com. I guess he was running for office, congressman spot in Minnesota. Yeah, I didn't even put that on the description box on there, but yeah. Talking about the public interest. Definitely doesn't benefit us. Nope. We're not a part of that public interest. But anyway, family, I'm going to go ahead and get off. You know what I'm saying? Nice chopping it up with y'all. Exactly. Oh yeah. These Caucasoids, they battle each other too. I'd rather for them to battle each other than for us to be involved in their battles. Let them beat each other. Let them beat each other up. We don't need to break that fight up. You know what I'm saying? Yep, that's right, August. Young Turd sounds about white. Yep. Hey, good to see you in here, Terry Keller. What's going on, brother? Yeah, I didn't even know he was in here. Yeah, I know we had about 10 people up in here at one time. I was like, wow. All right, August Dreams. Yep. But anyway, yeah, I'm about to go ahead and get off. But I'll see y'all later, though. Hit you up in the next video. Definitely check those out. Oh, definitely check out my article out. My blog piece out. It's in the description box, too. It's called The Bible and White Supremacy. It's going to be a series. It's going to be a series of articles. I think it's going to be like maybe like 2 other parts of the article I'm going to put in there later on in the near future. Yeah. Definitely check that article out. Other than that, I'll see y'all later. Peace.